What's going on? All thanks for tuning once again. Let's talk Opetaia. So he's been stripped again. Just a very short video. Opetaia has been stripped of the IBF title. Sad news for him. Now he's one step further away from becoming unification, undisputed. He's always wanted to become undisputed champion. And now because this has happened, it's going to be a bit harder for him. Opetaia has been the best at cruiserweight for a long time, and everyone knows that, and hence why he has the Ring Magazine title, because that's the title that proves that you're the best. That's the title that says that you have beaten the best in your division, which was Maris Breeders. So I'm disappointed for Jai, just because I know that he really wants the undisputed, all the belts. He wants that, and it feels like a lot of people have ducked him, and now it's a bit harder for him, like I mentioned. But as I said, he's beaten the best. Everyone knows that he is the best at cruiserweight. Now with Benavidez in the division, people are questioning, can Benavidez beat Opetaia? But just like I said as well, Opetaia beat the man that was the best at the division, and that was best in the division, that was Maris Breeders. Breeders was the guy that went up to heavyweight, then came back down, won a fight at heavyweight, came back down. He was a great fighter, probably gave Usyk one of his hardest fights ever. Go and watch that back. Opetaia, yeah, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I think that with the Soto Ramirez and Benavidez fight, I'm sure that they would want to fight Opetaia next. This fight's in May, so it's not that far away. I'm hoping that they acknowledge his, Ring Magazine title, and they come to senses that, if they want to be the best in the division, they have to beat Opetaia. Simple as that. If you want to be the best cruiserweight, all these other bouts are not really going to matter unless you have the Ring Magazine belt, which Opetaia still holds, and he is, clearly the number one guy at cruiserweight. It doesn't matter if he has less belts than the other guy. We know who the Ring Magazine champion is. We know who beat the man in the division, and that was Opetaia. So IBF, they decided to withdraw their sanction fight, or whatever the case was, 3 days before the fight. So Opetaia wasn't aware that he would get stripped. He was saying, don't listen to the media, don't always listen to what you hear, So he was basically informed that he would keep the belt. Like I said, IBF decided to change their mind 3 days before the fight, and now they've only just sat down and, made the decision recently. So very unfortunate for Jai, but at the same time, he's just got to keep his head up. And these belts, like I said, he's the number one guy. He's the guy with the Ring Magazine belt. I think that he will still get the other belts, but as I mentioned before, it's going to take a bit longer. Leave your take on it anyway. And as I mentioned, just a short video. And I'll catch you next.